We'll seize your house by force if we have to. That's what she actually screamed at me on my own porch before sunrise. Picture me, barely awake, coffee halfway to my lips, and suddenly I'm face to face with this HOA queen bee and her loyal inspection squad, waving a stack of signatures that looked about as real as Monopoly money, yelling like she'd just been handed the deed to my soul. You know that feeling when you're just hoping for a quiet morning and end up starring in the main event for every nosy neighbor within 100 yards? Yeah, that happened. I didn't buy this old farmhouse for drama, I'll tell you that. I'm Derek Reed, building inspector, and I chose this century-old place because it's outside Willowbrook HOA's reach. The tax sticker on my beat-up mailbox basically screams, "Not your jurisdiction." But that little detail must have slipped past Elaine Porter, HOA chairwoman, who is now leading her army of 2 in matching homemade shirts, treating my porch like the gates of Mordor. Elaine looks about 49, going on furious, red in the cheeks, veins showing, practically vibrating as she jabs her finger at my door and yells about seizure by force. I just set my mug down, hit record on my phone. If she wants to play pretend lawyer, I'm playing documentarian. She's got her evidence. I've got my property deed binder still sealed from the title company, every page stamped and official, stating clear as daylight that my place is outside any HOA boundary. Then she tries a new tactic, claims the bank is on her side, as if that means she gets to rewrite Texas property law. Before I can even reply, a county patrol car glides down the driveway, gravel crunching under the tires, and out steps Deputy Aaron Blake. He's seen his fair share of HOA scuffles, judging by the tired way he says, "Ma'am, HOAs have no seizure authority out here." Elaine isn't fazed. She's waving her files in his face, and I'm on my porch reading aloud. This parcel is not subject to any HOA declaration, per county records. The deputy asks to see the actual boundary declaration. She starts fumbling, inspection squad glancing at each other like kids caught cheating. One neighbor starts backing away, mumbling about checking with the office. I'm narrating everything for the cloud upload, time-stamped, GPS tagged, Texas rules of evidence locked in. Let them try and spin this in court. The whole scene is almost surreal. Morning mist rising, birds just waking up, and this HOA mob performing their own twisted matinee. Elaine finally storms off, promising I haven't heard the last of her, leaving me with a business card from the deputy and an armful of crystal-clear evidence. I thought that'd be the end of it. Turns out, it was just Act 1. 2 days later, Elaine switches from threats to a so-called preserve our hollow character signature drive. I see her through my kitchen window, clipboard in hand, hitting every porch in walking distance, using me as the villain in her pitch to save the neighborhood from outside investors. I recognize some of those neighbors, Mrs. Henderson at the Victorian, who just complimented my restoration work last week, now nodding nervously as Elaine spins tales about property values dropping and emergency boundary adjustments. She signs the petition, my stomach sinks. This is how communities turn on each other, one forged document at a time. Cue Tom Bennett, land records specialist, notary public, and human lie detector. He's been watching Elaine too, notices right away that her forms aren't official county docs. Wrong letterhead, wrong seal. None of that's real, he whispers. We trail behind Elaine, quietly observing as she works the neighborhood. The pattern is clear. Longtime locals look skeptical, but newer folks eat it up, happy to sign anything that sounds official. Tom gets a look at one of her commission letters, fake county rural preservation recommendations, totally made up. That's forgery, straight up, and not the kind that goes unnoticed. Now this isn't just a pushy HOA boss. It's crossing into felony territory. By evening, Elaine's got half the neighborhood signed up, including folks I'd hoped would be friendly. The ones who refuse? Tom, a few old-timers, and, surprise, a family with teenage kids who actually ask for real details. Official county business doesn't happen door to door, the dad tells me later. All night, I'm researching fraud statutes, forwarding Tom's photos of those bogus docs to the right places. I'm not going to let a fake petition decide my fate, you know what I mean? But the sting lingers. The old Texas way is to trust your neighbors, and suddenly everyone's looking at me sideways. 3 neighbors show up after dark, petition in hand, ready to talk about this valley situation. They're convinced I'm the problem. The next day, things escalate again. Elaine's out of signatures, so she brings in muscle. Late afternoon, For vehicles roll up, parking at all angles like they're executing a SWAT maneuver. 6 people pile out in matching enforcer shirts, hauling cones, clipboards, and measuring gear. They spread out, start staging a property safety inspection, complete with orange violation markers. But they make a rookie mistake. The rural mail carrier rolls up in the middle of their performance, dashcam rolling. She watches them plant the signs before pretending to find them. I'm inside, filming everything, and by the time Deputy Blake shows up again, perfect timing, by the way, we've got footage from every angle. My phone, his body cam, neighbor's security cams, and the mail carrier's dash cam. Turns out these aren't even HOA volunteers, they're paid contractors. That's HOA money being used for intimidation, and that's misappropriation. Rebecca Shaw, our local numbers whiz, digs into HOA finances and finds out Elaine's been running a shadow fund, spending thousands on community safety assessments, with no approval from anyone but herself. By the time I secure the house for the night, my driveway's littered with cones and violation placards, the evidence mounting by the minute. But Elaine isn't done. Now she targets my livelihood, calling every contractor I work with, spreading rumors that I'm under investigation, that my inspection license is on the line. My phone blows up, builders, developers, old friends calling, worried about their own projects. She even tries bribing one of my main clients, offering him future HOA work if he'll dump me. That gets recorded too. Clear as day, proof of commercial bribery. I pull together every document I have, license, clean record, footage of her staged inspections, Rebecca's evidence of HOA fund abuse, and send it to all my clients. The builders see through her story, but I'm still left fuming at the scale of the attack. This isn't just a neighborhood feud anymore. It's economic warfare. And then, just when I think I've seen it all, Elaine UPS the ante with a big city lawyer, hauling me into court with emergency motions, glossy photographs of violations, those same planted markers, and a stack of affidavits built on her forged documents. Judge Williams, eyes narrowed, sees through some of it, but the restraining order comes down anyway, at least for now. For the first time, I wonder if she's finally outgunned me. But Rebecca's not done. She traces attorney payments straight to the HOA's Emergency Reserve Fund. No board approval, no oversight. That's felony misuse of nonprofit funds. And then Channel 7 runs a feature. Turns out, Elaine's got a past. Previous conviction for embezzlement from a nonprofit, just like this one. The reporter's questions shift from safety concerns to criminal conspiracy. Tom, the notary, gives interviews about forged documents. The DA gets involved. And suddenly this isn't just a personal vendetta. It's federal wire fraud, racketeering, mail fraud, money laundering, bribery, and conspiracy. Elaine tries to settle, calls me out to the Valley Overlook, hands me a cashier's check for $25,000 to make the problem go away. What she doesn't know is I'm wired for sound. Investigators listening from the next ridge. She confesses to forging signatures, faking members to hit loan ratios, laundering money through bogus contractor payments. Everything. The whole crooked empire collapses in the time it takes for her to finish her monologue. Federal agents show up at my farmhouse, black SUVs, government IDs, the works. Within weeks, Elaine is indicted, the HOA is gutted, every resident gets restitution. The news follows the story all the way to a packed courtroom where justice finally lands with the weight of years behind it. And I get my peace back. Neighbors apologize, bring cookies, invite me to the Harvest Festival. The non-HOA homestead sticker stays on my mailbox, but now there's a plaque on my porch. Fraud reported here. Community restored. The valley is quieter, the lines clearer, the trust rebuilt, slowly but surely. But here's the part that'll get folks talking. If Elaine hadn't gone full villain, would anyone have believed how easy it is to twist the law in your favor if no one's watching? Would my neighbors have seen the truth if the news hadn't dug up her past? Or would the valley still be divided, with good people fooled by bad paperwork? That's the real question. So tell me in the comments, what would you have done differently? Ever had a neighbor try something this wild? If you got something out of this story, hit that like button, subscribe, or just leave a word of encouragement. Keeps me fighting the good fight. And hey, keep your coffee hot and your peace even hotter. Stick around, because in this neighborhood, you never know when the next plot twist is going to walk right up your driveway.